Hey, how's it going, everyone? So today we are going to be looking at how much M1 Finance paid me out in dividends. And yes, I do know that M1 Finance actually doesn't pay me out in the dividends. It's all these individual companies. But nonetheless, that is probably what I'm going to be titling this video anyways. So what we're going to do is hop onto the portfolio, see how we are doing. February, of course, was a pretty rough month for most people. If you were, in the market and pretty much had more of an aggressive portfolio. So let's go ahead and jump in and talk about where we're at all together. Now, in case you aren't too familiar, my name is Dennis, and we normally love to talk about apps and services that really help you build your wealth for the future. So today what we're going to be doing, like I mentioned, looking over my portfolio. Here we're going to jump in on the screen so you guys can kind of see as I am talking along with you. I have currently $1,696.10 in this portfolio. I have a couple different sectors right now. The market, like I mentioned, hasn't been doing very well the last day, which was March 2nd and actually March 3rd. That's today's date, March 3rd. So we are down 2.68% with a total of a negative $46.69 from my portfolio. Now, my goal is to have this first challenge to actually hit over $10,000 in this portfolio, but my long-term goal is actually to get a really good dividend payout every single month. So my goal is to actually by the mid 40s to late 40s to hopefully get a good amount of money in here where I'm actually getting paid out, $1,000 a month on this portfolio. Whether I need it or don't, it's just going to be available for me because this is my taxable account, as I do have my retirement in other portfolios. So as you can see here, like we talked about, that was how the day was doing. If we go to the week, we are still down 3.93%. So the market's really been going up and down. And then for the last month, which is what we're going to mainly focus on, is the 7.47% down, and our total gains, or technically our losses, is negative $117.89. Again, you can see that fluctuation here in the market. Quarter was not bad. We're only down 0.55%, which was about $7. And then for the year, we're actually still up $8.61, which is a plus of $46.67. And then all time, we're still up $53 total there. So that's really nice. So, I mentioned to you guys what my goal is for this portfolio. Obviously, you can see here, Dividend Dennis is the name for it, just because that's where my goal is lying for this portfolio. I have different portfolios for different goals, but like I said, we're gonna look and see how much I got paid out and then which companies actually paid me out as well. If I actually go in, I wanna go back to the last month. Like I said, I wanna focus on the last month because that's mainly from February. So in February, all of my overall portfolio did bad. But if we look at my sectors, I gotta just make sure they are on screen for you here, just because of the way my recorder works. So my Vanguard S&P 500 fund was down about 7.79%. That follows that S&P index. Then my tech sector is down about 7.3%, retail down almost 9%, so a little bit rougher there. Real estate actually only went down 1.91% during the time, so that was actually really interesting to see such a small hit on that end. But that's good because that keeps me a little bit more balanced, especially with retail being up so much higher in the downturn. Consumer products, I am down about 7.08%. Health down about 4.38%. Industries about almost 10%, and then financials down almost 14% there. So a little rough, although I did know that financials has kind of been in the rough position for the last little while there. But nonetheless, overall, still pretty happy. That's why I was actually sharing with people too on my community post on YouTube, is that even when the market was going down, I was actually not only just doing my regular consistent investing, which I would highly recommend if you have, a regular schedule, whether it's every week, 2 weeks, whatever the case may be. Even when the market is going down, try to stay as consistent as possible. But I even went above that and decided to buy into additional pieces into the investment. So I did an extra $50 on the 26th of February, and then I did my regular deposit on the 2nd, but I also added an additional $100. So I did $140 instead of the regular $40. So just want to keep on posting. I want to share with you guys too, because it's really important to know that, I'm not just going to show you guys the good times. I want to also show you the downturns in the market, because I still believe in the long-term goal of what I'm trying to accomplish. And I think if you guys see this happening with other, creators on the platform, you can feel more comfortable with making sure that what you're trying to do for the long term is also good as well. Because I think the last thing we want to do is have a downturn in the market and then no, creators actually post their, performances because they're afraid to, have other people see them in the negatives. And I think that's a bad thing, because if we're only showing the good sides, then we're not going to realize that the downturns are actually probably the more advantageous times for people to actually be investing, because you're buying things on a downturn. I think most of you guys know that, so I'm kind of preaching to the choir there. So what we're going to do now is let's go ahead and just drop down to our dividends. And just to make this easier, I am going to cut this into just February. And it was a leap year, which is awesome. Hope you guys had a good extra day to this year. All right, so let's go ahead and start this. I'm gonna start at the very bottom here. On February 3rd, I got 61 cents from AT&T, which is awesome. They are a fantastic dividend paying company. And then one of their rivals paid me on the exact same day, so Verizon paid me 22 cents. So from both of those companies together, really nice. A few days later, February 5th, from PNC, I actually got 7 cents. And then 5 days later, on February 10th, from Texas Instrument, I got paid 12 cents in dividends. Apple on the 13th of February actually paid me 9 cents. I think that's the first dividend I got from Apple. Might want to just double check myself there. And then February 14th, I got quite a few dividends, as you can probably see here. So right now, the first one I have is AbbVie. They paid me 36 cents. I got 11 cents from Ally Bank. And then with Clorox, they actually paid me 16 cents. And then Colgate, they paid me 9 cents. And then same thing on that same day, I got from Realty Income, which is the monthly paying dividend. They paid me 16 cents. I am actually very close to having a full share from that company, which I'm really excited. And then on the 18th of February, Hasbro actually sent me out 10 cents, which was really nice. Same day right there, we can see Procter & Gamble also sent me a 9-cent dividend. And then I just got to scroll up here on the other side of the computer. Perfect. So Paycheck sent me a dividend of 6 cents, and then Costco sent me a dividend of 3 cents. So although that company doesn't give me a lot on my dividend, I definitely love having ownership in Costco. And then that was on the 21st, and then also on the 21st, Starbucks gave me 8 cents as well. Now, I know I've mentioned this before, and that the money that I'm getting from these dividends is not a lot of money, right? $2.35, you can probably find that in between your couch cushions, or maybe even your car or your purse, whatever the case may be. But that is money I didn't have to work for. I got it because I have ownership in these companies. It's definitely more than what I was getting a year ago, which I will show you guys here in just a second, because I've been investing for about a year now through this platform, which is M1 Finance, in case you're not aware. But the nice thing is, overall, it's going to keep growing and keep getting larger and larger. And hopefully in the next couple years, not only am I going to have, the funds that are growing overall in value, but then the dividend amounts that I'm getting are going to increase as well during that time. So that's why I'm keeping it all on a dividend tracker, which I'm going to jump over to and show you guys. It's something that I created, which I also give away for free, and I'll tell you how to do that here in just a second. So let's go ahead and jump over there and see the tracker and where we're at for February, and compare that to a couple of months prior and even last year, but that's really no comparison because I didn't make anything last year on dividends in February. So this here is my dividend tracker. So first and foremost, if you are interested in getting this entirely for free, I'll have a link in the show notes. You guys can sign up for my emails and then actually go ahead and get this for free. So you guys can do that if you like, but we're going to talk about it here and how I work this. So right now I am on my M1 Finance tab, and you can see here that I have a total of $2.35 that I earned for February in 2020. I didn't earn anything in February of 2019 because at that point I had the companies that I was holding in the portfolio, but nobody paid out just yet. You can see my first payout was actually on March of 2019. So the comparison on there obviously is not going to be anywhere matched, but as we keep going, hopefully every single month from the year prior, we're going to be earning more, especially because we're investing more. Dividend increases, which not a lot of people talk about dividend increases, because those are really important too. So for me, I am always excited to see where it's going to go. That's why I like this dividend tracker, because I just want to see just the pure dollar amount. Because if you look right here, I made $2.39 in January, and then the February total, which we just talked about, that puts me at a year to date of $4.74, which is a little over half of what we did in the total of 2019. So in 2 months, I'm pretty much already halfway to where we made in dividends for 2019, and I think we're going to surpass that by a pretty crazy amount actually. Just because of the amount that we're putting in every week is more than where we started off in July of last year, and just kind of everything that compounds when it comes to investing, which is obviously a really big thing. So excited there. You know, right now, technically, this is my 3rd highest month overall in dividends, which normally February should be some of the smaller amounts because I'm not getting paid as much, because usually months like March, June, September and December are going to be my biggest months because that's where I make most of my dividends from a ton of the different companies I have, as well as my retirement account as well. So it's going to be really nice. I actually have also a Robinhood tab here, but I didn't get paid out anything for Robinhood in February just because that is mainly going to be focused on growth opportunity more so than dividends. So you're not going to see too much here, but I still have the tab because I want to keep track of it all. So you'll see here, yeah, $0 in there. And then my Vanguard fund, I only have one fund that pays on a quarterly basis. The other 2 funds pay once a year. So right now nothing comes in for February, but March is going to be a solid month across the board because I will be getting my dividend from Vanguard as well as all my dividends from my Robinhood account and my M1 Finance account. So which I actually have a full tracker across the board with all 3 companies, my M1 Finance, my Robinhood, and my Vanguard. So you can see here, so the total for the year of 2020, I have earned $10.74, and then last year I earned a total of $673.05, but a majority of that came from my Vanguard account, which you guys will see next month because I will be getting paid out the dividends from that account. But I do definitely hope it's going to be more than what I made in 2019, which was $159.34 for March of 2019. So 2020 March should be gearing up to be a really good month overall across the board when it comes to my dividends. We'll see how the market does overall for the month. I'm still going to be investing because I know it's really important to be very consistent regardless of how the market is doing, whether it is up or whether it is down. I'm still going to be doing my monthly investments. I'm going to be bumping it up here pretty soon, I believe, with how much I'm putting into my M1 Finance as well as my Vanguard, because I'm putting in a small amount for my Vanguard retirement account. And then my Robinhood account just kind of gets played around with some of the money that I have in there already. So let me know in the comments down below, how much did you earn in dividends for the month of February, whether it's from one account or across the board with all your investments. I'd like to hear from you guys and how much you made. Now, if you want to keep on learning more about dividend investing, I want you to check out my video right over here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.